Rod. Dariusz Kowalczyk from SJS Markets joins us with a contrarian view in the final stretch of the show here. Morning.
Morning. Good to
Wen
be here.
Jiabao is lying. Are you saying the premier of the PRC is lying to the people?
Well, I'm saying that definitely what he is saying will not prove to be true.
And that sounds like a lie to me, or is he actually as blind as a lot of people who believe this sort of stuff?
Well, when it comes to what measures they are taking so far, clearly he cannot achieve his 8% target unless he knows that he has another stimulus package up his sleeve that he's going to release sometime later this year.
Why does he have to announce a stimulus package? What is this big nobility in announcing stimulus packages? It seems to me that if you really wanted to shock economy out of the rut, you would go ahead and do it and then brag about to everybody what you did. I mean, people don't spend necessarily just because of what they see on TV. We'd like to think so, but no. Or what they read in the paper. It's because of how safe they feel about their job. It's not what goes on up the top. It's what goes on in their neighborhood, in their workplace that kind of defines how they participate in the economy.
Exactly, and that's why markets around the world are so disappointed that China hasn't come up with any new measures. It seems that since September, they almost haven't done anything in terms of either monetary and fiscal stimulus, and the world has changed dramatically since then. You look at the stock markets, look at how gloomy outlook for global growth is, and China depends on exports so heavily that without an additional adjustment to the global environment deterioration, they simply cannot pull off 8%.
What do they need to do? What's the first order of business?
They definitely need to come up with much more spending by the government on investments and also tax cuts.
Wait. Spending or stimulus? I mean, the Obama administration seems to be have a hard time differentiating between the two. Sometimes spending doesn't stimulate because you need to spend it anyway, right? I mean, you need a certain amount of money just to pay the salaries of bureaucrats doing government work. That's not going to stimulate anything. It has to be above and on top of that, correct?
Exactly. They have to spend much more money that they are planning to spend right now, or else domestic demand, such as consumption and fixed asset investments, will not suffice to outweigh the deterioration in the trade surplus, which I expect to chop off 4 percentage points
so
of
what are you
GDP
talking about?
growth.
What is Dariusz Kowalczyk style stimulus, preferred stimulus? It's not just building a bridge, because that's too slow.
Exactly. They need to spend a lot more money on either cutting taxes or supporting consumption to a much bigger degree that they are doing right now through subsidies, for example, and preferably to do both of these measures in order to have a chance of achieving, let's say, 6% this year.
So slash and burn personal and corporate income tax rates.
They have to do it definitely, and they are able to afford it because of their very low budget deficit and debt.
About 3%, right?
Exactly. That's nothing. Would you call it stimulatory?
GDP. And shopping vouchers, or what? How do you stimulate the domestic consumer?
I think this would be a fantastic thing to do to expand on the current plan of subsidizing consumption of manufactured goods made by Chinese manufacturers. And they can afford to do it, and I think that they will roll out new programs, otherwise unemployment rate will rise too far.
There's a few more days to go with the NPC. We'll see if they listen. Let's check the markets as we hand off to Haslinda and the trade.